Co-creating impact. Hello, I'm Lori with Co-creating Impact and itstimesunshine.com. This is our good friend, Joa Tang. We know from TikTok. Hi, stands
Hey,
for
everybody.
Help Inspire. And I just had a really quick point before we go into it that you have helped inspire me. I put a heart with a smiley face in it on my
That's awesome.
lives.
That's awesome.
Because my words this year is head to heart, and also
Nice.
people bring a smile to my heart. So on my lives, I do that in honor of you, and I always tell everybody, this is in honor of Joa Tang. He does help
That's awesome.
inspire. Hi.
That's amazing.
Okay, so tell us how you got started on TikTok, first of all. I'm always interested.
Yeah, it's first of all, I just want to say thanks so much for having me be part of this amazing experience. It's just cool. It's cool to be, part of someone who is trying to make a positive impact in the world. So I really appreciate that. TikTok, it's funny because you and I just were having a conversation around Gary Vee. And I think the main reason I even stumbled across the app and started paying attention was because he was screaming it on his platform. And for people out there who don't know Gary Vee, which I'm pretty sure Lori's mentioned him a few times in here, but he's a businessman, entrepreneur, very, very savvy social media guy. And he's someone who's a mentor from afar for me. And he was just making content about, hey, you know what, there's a good opportunity for you to build audience on TikTok. And me as a businessman, I'm like, you know what, let me go on there and really check it out and see what he's talking about. And this was back in, 2000 and when it was Musical.ly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when I hopped on, to be completely honest with you, I was like, no way. This is a whole bunch of, teens and children dancing and lip syncing. That's not my thing. But finally last year, February, which sounds weird, I decided to jump in and start making content. So
yeah, and it's fantastic, because where did the help inspire, the high that you have on your hand, where did that stem from in your brain? Where did you come up with that? How did that come about?
Yeah, good question. So I'm sitting right now in my sunroom, and I was sitting here playing on the app, just trying to learn the communication style and how everybody's, what the language is on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool. I'm interested to know if I was to write high on my hand, to see how many people would want to engage back with me. So it was snowing outside. I wrote high on my hand. I went outside and just made a 15-second video. And it was my first piece of content that actually took off. I mean, had hundreds of people just responding to me from all over the world saying hi. And I met a lot of people who I still know today that have become pretty good friends of mine. And I was like, man, a lot of people really just embrace the concept hi. And so I played with that for a while, but my personality is I have to add some kind of meaning to everything I do. So I was like, I just can't be, a guy that writes high on my hand. Like, there has to be some kind of meaning.
Yeah, because words are powerful. And
words are powerful. Exactly. So I was like, you know what? And it came instantly. I didn't spend too much time thinking about it. I was just like, help inspire. That's really who I've been for my entire life, is just someone who, not because I feel like I'm better than anybody or because I feel like I'm special than anybody. I just feel like I'm a guy who's like really passionate about life, and people, I think passionate people are infectious, right? And so I was like, I'm a passionate guy that wants to inspire people in a positive way. And so I was like, help inspire. I was like, I like that. So that's how I came up with the entire concept.
Yes, and for you to go on every morning, pretty much on TikTok lives, and have people text in, and then you call them and they share their word of the day and their inspiration and how they're going to move forward with that. It's really inspiring for people, isn't it?
It is. I really do. I started off just wanting to, which is still the same idea. I just added meaning behind my lives now by asking for words of the day. But I started off just trying to connect with people and say hi, because I feel like one thing people overlook with social media is the social side, right? In social media, everybody wants to focus on the content and consuming the content and making the content and all that jazz, but people forget about the whole social aspect. And so I started, when I hit 1,000 followers, which you need to have to be able to go live on that platform, I just started interacting with people via phone, asking them to text me, and I called them.
Yeah, and I like the way that you have grown and expanded within that texting and how you take off with it, and that you've gone to Discord now so that we can go a little bit further, because the conversations get heavy and deep and people want to connect
They do,
deeper,
right.
and help each other out where they can. It's a very helping and loving community. I want to ask, what makes you giggle? What is the thing that gives you those belly laughs?
These kind of questions. Right now, my children, I'm a father of twins, boy and a girl. They do some of the craziest things, so they make me laugh all the time. I don't know. I'm pretty open. I'm pretty gullible, so like anything makes me laugh. I'm really into puns right now, so making my own content on TikTok makes me laugh all the time. I'm pretty open. There's not I can't pinpoint one thing that makes me laugh.
I know that's the way I am. It's kind of that silly thing. If you're in a mood and you hear somebody say something that doesn't even sound funny, but it just strikes a chord with you,
Right,
and you just kind of go with it.
Right.
What brings you the complete joy to your life? Like the joy that you have, that you seem to have. I know that you read books, self-help books. You're very into self-awareness and self-love and self-confidence. So what is it that brings you that joy?
I would go back to saying my ability to respect myself and how I've been growing in life. And I think the older I'm getting, the less pressure I'm putting on myself to be perfect. And so that when you grow up, when you're living life, putting all that pressure on yourself, it's heavy. It's hard to live. It's hard to be yourself. And I think I went through phases of like trying to peel back the onion layers. And I feel like now I'm at a place where I'm really getting a lot of joy of just being myself. And that brings me a lot of joy, because I feel like it's making me a better person for my family and the people I'm meeting out there in the world. And I don't know, I'm really in a place where I'm really grateful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Gratitude and gratitude towards family. And I know that do you still run every day? Are you taking in nature and working out every day? Is that one resource, one tool that you like to use in order to help give you that joy?
It's the main thing that gives me, a lot of my fuel. Now, I'll be completely honest. I haven't worked out in the last few days. Just been super, family mode, but definitely working out, especially first thing in the morning, gives me so much energy, and it does contribute to. And I'll go back to your question of like my lives and how those are going and how I've been able to build a community around that. My idea behind that was, if we can really dedicate time, especially early in the morning, even if it's 5 minutes, to really get our minds right and set the intention of how we want to live our day, that just provides so much value and it makes such an impact in our daily lives. And so sometimes we carry so much burden or pressure to, like, again, going back to like our lives have to be perfect or a certain way. And I feel like we break things down to just focusing on each day, each moment. It really create some meaning in our lives. So
right, it's kind of like that overwhelming feeling, and then the stress starts, and then we feel like, oh geez, now it's just too much. And if we can just focus on that one thing, then we can that helps us to move forward. Now, speaking of impact, what impact do you think you've had the biggest on people around you? What influence, like, do you have a certain book or a certain way that you like to put off your energy, or what type of impact do you feel like you have on others?
Just giving them permission to be themselves.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
I make videos that, in my head, I can easily judge. I could judge this as being super silly, right? Like, I'm a grown man writing on my hand with a Sharpie, making videos and, dancing and all that. But I know the reason why I'm doing it. And this is how I choose to communicate. And so I feel like by me going out there and not trying to be perfect, and, I love to stumble, I love telling people that I stutter, I get nervous doing stuff like this, because I want people to see that it's okay to be yourself and you can still make an impact. And so,
yeah, because the true you comes out, and then people say, oh, it's okay. He stumbled. Everybody stumbles. It's no big deal. So as you're talking, I did write, this is what I do on my lives. I love that. I love it. I love to do it. Inspired by you, Joe.
When the high meets the heart.
Help inspire. That's perfect. I had a question that I asked some people on my lives last night, what I should be asking you. One of them was, what is your favorite cereal?
Haha, you know what? Oh man. As of late, it's been Chex.
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 Okay.
The cinnamon flavor and peanut butter flavor. Those are really been my favorite. Yeah. Prior to that though, it was Honey Bunches of Oats would have been my favorite cereal.
Nice. Yeah. You tell a lot about a person from their cereal, can't you? Also, there's another one said, are you ticklish?
I'm very ticklish. Easy. Okay. Easy. 1,000% ticklish.
You are ticklish. That's awesome. Now, you have a hair care product line, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how did that come about?
Inspired by Gary Vee. You know, he's in the wine business. I'm in the salon business, but his model, I study him closely, and I just think it's smart. I think, especially with the pandemic, everybody's online, and you know, what the internet has done is remove friction, and what the pandemic has done has really created an opportunity for people to understand that people want things conveniently, like the whole delivery process and shopping online, and one click, everything is one click of a button away, right? And so I was like, man, we really have to. My mom has a salon in Houston, Texas, Innovative Looks, a hair salon, and I'm currently working with her on growing that company. And I was just like, you know what? We need to go ahead and adopt a model where we can make it super convenient for people to, you know, not only purchase high quality hair care, but also see if we can save them some money while they do that.
Right. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch gears and ask you, what was your favorite childhood memory that just brought you joy, little happiness, that one little thing?
Oh man, you know, Lori, I think I've always been one of those curious, adventurous kids. You know, everything. To be honest with you, I'm not even making this up. Like, everything brought me joy and happiness. But when I reflect back on it, there's two trips that really brought me a lot of joy. One was, so my parents, I'm first generation American. My parents are from Cameroon in West Africa. When they took me back to their country, that was pretty eye-opening for me at 8 years old and 12 years old, how different things were, but how there's still nice people all over the world, right? And so that was a huge highlight for me. Another one was a trip to Europe. So my mom, prior to her opening her own salon, she worked for a salon where she would do these company trips. And when they took us to Europe, that was an incredible time because, again, I got a chance to see outside of the United States and, you know, experience different cultures. And so that, whether I realized it then, I realize it now, that made a huge impact on who I am today. So
that's incredible. I can't imagine at 8 years old taking that trip. That must have just been beautiful.
It was fun. It was amazing. It was different, eye-opening, and you know, and like I said, adventure has always been my thing. So it was a kid on an adventure. And just to slip in one more moment, because I have to, when the Houston Rockets won the championship back to back in Houston.
Go ahead.
that was sticking. Go ahead.
I know you're a competitive person. Go on.
Yeah. So that is what led me to you know, play basketball, which I did for, you know, a good 12 years of my life.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to play college basketball, and I don't know, I just was so passionate about the sport, and I think it came from Houston Rockets. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Gosh, isn't it funny how the little things in our lives?
It is. And when you really start to like look at life that way, like how can you, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but like how can you not, you know, really appreciate life? So it's the little things that matter, and that's what I'm starting to spend a lot of time reflecting on.
And I think as we get older, and especially when we have children, we really take that deeply into our hearts.
Right.
The appreciation of life, the appreciation of what is surrounding us, and the great gratitudes that we have for each other. All right. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you coming on. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Yes. And we will have Gary Vee on this podcast. Come on.
Easy. I'll vouch for you for sure.
Thanks, Joe. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Brought to you by breaktherage.org and itstimesunshine.com, finding resources for health and mental wellness.